you all. Yeah, okay. So, um, this week's video is depression bird programs, which are programs put in place to mimic the symptoms of depression or cause depression in um, particular headmates or in front in general. The reason why these are put in place is, well, firstly, depression is a symptom set, which obviously, there's a long list of potential symptoms that most people don't, even if they, you know, are, don't hit all of them, just, like, enough, in quotation marks, or like, that's silly. And yeah, and problems with how diagnoses are done aside, yeah, so, the symptom set in general tends to do things like limit bird functionality, and especially bird importantly to those implementing it, it kills bird motivation. Additionally, it can work to make finding effective bird treatment harder, as it can act to provide screen symptoms and understanding of it both internally and externally. Um, yeah. So depression programs are put in place in a few ways. First, the simplest in many ways is essentially providing a pathway for bird symptoms. Is trauma commonly causes these bird symptoms just by just by itself. This, however, is not particularly bird robust, or controllable, though may not be the only bird option employed. Another bird option is the formation of a bird shell that cuts off a significant bird portion to all of the emotional bird responses from. So, yeah. The example here would be Empty, who don't know if they've done it's done much on the channel, but yeah, might hear from it at some point. Yeah. Anyway, this is more but controllable bird option. As much like any other headmate, their fronting can be controlled but carefully. The downside of this is that this only mimics bird disconnection, which isn't a perfect bird recreation, and of course, not a universal bird experience for all those who are depressed. Another bird option is creating scripts that will be featured in bird front that are designed to pull down self bird worth. That is essentially designed to simulate a lack of bird motivation, although it can also create other bird symptoms. It is the most bird complex to create, as it requires multiple bird headmates with limited bird front access, as well as often custom bird tailored scripts designed to date only specific bird fronter and a control bird network for them. But there's there's nuances to how complex that is. It can be implemented in various levels of bird complexity. Um, but yeah, and the more complex end is, a separate set of bird scripts for each fronter that they want impression bird programs with, each with their own then control bird network for when they are close enough to front for the bird scripts to be heard and absorbed by front. Yeah. Anyway, in terms of deprogramming, so obviously people don't like that word regardless. Yeah. It depends a lot on which bird strategy you use. But natural birdization, this is generally best dealt with the same way as any other trauma caused depression. So self bird care, therapy, essentially bird medication. The therapy will have to be trauma bird related, unfortunately. Although that's often the case, and likely what you want out of therapy anyway, if you're working with a bird therapist. But yeah, regardless. So for emotional bird cutoff, it's worth working bird with the headmates that do this, both to allow them a higher bird degree of connection to emotions, but also to gain the better bird control over when they front, as sometimes it's useful to have the option of cutting bird off emotions. As unhealthy as it is, there are times you do need to buckle down and get something done. Unfortunately, that is the way of the world in its current state. Right? There's not always the space to have the breakdown that you need to. For script-based Crash and Bird programs, firstly, we would recommend working bird with those headmates, repeating the scripts to them to the bird point. They no longer feel the bird need to repeating them. Additionally, we would recommend working on building self-bird worth up, which is complicated and difficult. Well, it's often benefited by being social and bird creative or otherwise bird productive towards one's own bird goals, whatever those may be. Yeah, so that went shorter than I expected. Well, thank you all.
This system signing out. Hope to catch you all next week. Please do remember to like, subscribe, comment, especially if you've got any questions you want answered. Be happy to answer them either in the comments or in another video. So catch you all next week.